What is good, everybody? This video is going to be starting a new series of book reviews that I'm doing because I'm trying to read a lot more books. I've hit my goal of reading 10 books this year. So going on to 2026, my new goal is going to be 20 books. Hopefully I'll smash that because I'm pretty sure I actually read like 14 or 15 books this year so far. And I still have a month because it's December 2nd. So I want to talk about one of the books I just read, which is Relentless by Tim Grover, which I guess Tim Grover's name to fame is that he was Michael Jordan's personal trainer, and that a lot of people claim Tim Grover is who made Michael Jordan into Michael Jordan. So that's a pretty big deal. Mentally, basically turned him into the killer that Michael Jordan is. Same goes for Kobe. He trained Kobe. He trained Dwyane Wade, and a bunch of other athletes. Now he owns a training facility, I think in Chicago, that is called Attack Athletics. But anyway, so this book was absolutely phenomenal. Brief summary is basically he breaks down every individual. Well, first of all, most of the book is geared towards athletes because that's a lot who he works with, but you can apply the same principles to business and entrepreneurship, athletics, school, just learning things in general, being a teacher, being a doctor, whatever you might be. There's definitely something for you in this book. Now, he breaks everyone into 3 categories. Those categories being coolers, closers, and cleaners. So basically the coolers are pretty much everybody, like 99% of the population, where they're just not super ambitious. They think about every decision that they make. And that's another thing he talks about a lot in the book, is thinking about the decisions you're making, and how it's typically better to just act. But these are just your everyday people, the coolers. And then the second group was the top 1%, which are the closers, which, like in baseball, you bring in a pitcher to close the game out because he's going to get the job done. He's going to do what he's supposed to do. When it comes to a thinking perspective, he's going to think about all the scenarios and he's going to make the choice based on the best case scenario to win the game. Like, you can trust on these individuals in business, athletics, whatever it might be. These are going to be your top 1% individuals, which you're always trusting your top 1% individuals to get the job done. So those are your closers. And then the third one is going to be the cleaners. And the cleaners are your 0.01% or 0.001% or whatever. There's not very many of these people. Your cleaners are going to be your Michael Jordans, your Kobe Bryant's, your Dwyane Wade's, the people who don't think about any of their actions. They just act because they know it's the right decision every single time. So I'd put myself in the closer category. I'm not a cleaner just yet, but there's definitely something to be learned from this book. I suggest all of you or anyone who's watching this video who is ambitious in business, athletics, whatever, just in life in general, pick this book up, give it a read. It's phenomenal. Let me see if there's any specific examples. It's basically, and also like another thing to be said is the coolers are the 99% of the population care about what people think. The closers, they care a lot less about what people think, but you know, there might be a certain few who they care about, versus the cleaners, they don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. They know that nobody understands them. They probably like this. They do whatever they feel like because they know that, at least in their brain, it's the right option. And you know, a lot of people would describe them as like assholes or just like disrespectful, and they might be in some cases. However, this means nothing to a cleaner because, you know, he's there to do one thing, and that's to win in whatever scenario that might be. So, this book, phenomenal. Totally 10 out of 10 recommend. But yeah, this was our first book review. I'm going to do another one after this video, and then as I read, hopefully I'll be able to do one every time I read a book. So, peace.